Winning the NFL MVP puts you on a prestigious list of players who are at the top of their game for a season. However, this list is rather selective, as only 24 different men have won this award since 2000. So today, we're going to go ahead and comb through this list and rank each NFL MVP season from worst to best since 2000. Number 24, Peyton Manning, Indianapolis Colts, 2008. Peyton Manning's numbers were good, but didn't really bounce off the page. He was 371 of 555, 66.8 completion percentage for 4,002 yards with 27 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. That is a good season, but arguably is not a Pro Bowl season in today's game. The runner-up was Chad Pennington, who had 19 touchdowns. So, yeah, that should really put into place how bad this year's MVP was. Number 23, Peyton Manning / Steve McNair, 2003. Yeah, it's a tie for the 2003 NFL MVP award. Steve McNair was 250 of 400, 62.5 completion percentage for 3,215 yards with 24 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. Peyton Manning was 379 of 566, 67 completion percentage for 4,267 yards with 29 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Again, these are pretty good seasons statistically, but really nothing more than that. And the counting numbers not being there make it really difficult to rank any higher. Number 22, Rich Gannon, Oakland Raiders, 2002. Rich Gannon barely won the 2022 NFL MVP as he had just 19 votes for the award. He finished 418 of 618, 67.6 completion percentage, for 4,689 yards with 26 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Yeah, he had a good passing season with 293.1 yards per game through the air, but I don't know, it just doesn't do enough as Gannon had 13 fumbles throughout the season as well. Number 21, Kurt Warner, St. Louis Rams, 2001. Kurt Warner had a huge season for the 2001 Rams as he went 375 of 546, 68.7 completion percentage for 4,830 yards with 36 touchdowns and 22 interceptions. That interception number is way too high for my liking, but he did throw for 301.9 yards per game that season. His 6.6 touchdown percentage is impressive, but almost gets canceled out with a 4 interception percentage. Number 20, Peyton Manning, Indianapolis Colts, 2009. Yet another Peyton Manning MVP award, and of course being kind of lower in the rankings here, as, well, he didn't really lead in many categories here. He finished the season 393 of 571, 68.8 completion percentage for 4,500 yards with 33 touchdowns and 16 interceptions. He did have a great offensive line that only allowed him to be sacked 10 times, and he had 7 fourth-quarter comebacks and game-winning drives. It just kind of feels like Manning got the award here for the 14-2 record, as Drew Brees was very close statistically on way fewer pass attempts. Number 19, Matt Ryan, Atlanta Falcons, 2016. Matt Ryan did pretty well in the 2016 season as he went 373 of 534, 69.9 completion percentage, for 4,944 yards with 38 touchdowns and 7 picks. He only received 50% of the vote shares, and this is the season where Brady had a 28-2 touchdown to interception ratio. Ryan played well, but it's difficult to consider Ryan's MVP as high as, well, a lot of the others here. Number 18, Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens, 2023. Jackson put together his finest season as a passer, completing 67.2% of pass attempts for 3,678 yards and 24 touchdowns against only 7 interceptions. Even in a more balanced attack, Jackson racked up 821 rushing yards and 5 rushing scores, leading Baltimore to football's best record. Number 17, Peyton Manning, Indianapolis Colts, 2004. Manning came into 2004 with a vengeance to prove that he should have won the NFL MVP without a tie, and did so when he went 336 of 497, 67.6 completion percentage for 4,557 yards with 49 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. His 9.9 touchdown percentage is the best since 1961, and it's tied for 6th all-time as of this writing. The season was also the 4th most passing touchdowns in a single season and surpassed the record held by Dan Marino. Number 16, Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers, 2014. This was another MVP held by Rodgers, and he did incredibly well as he beat out J.J. Watt and DeMarco Murray for the honors. He was 341 of 520, 65.6 completion percentage for 4,381 yards with 38 touchdowns to 5 picks. He was throwing the ball deep as he averaged 9.5 yards per attempt, something that only 3 quarterbacks since have done throughout a season. Honestly, it was incredible to see peak Rodgers throwing that ball. Number 15, Tom Brady, New England Patriots, 2010. Tom Brady won the 2010 NFL MVP award unanimously and definitely deserved it. I mean, he finished 324 492, 65.9 completion percentage for 3,900 yards with 36 touchdowns compared to 4 interceptions. Brady finished with 31 rushes for 30 yards, but had a rushing touchdown as well. Brady also had 3 game-winning drives and a pair of fourth-quarter comebacks. All in all, it was a very solid year and will not be the last time that you see his name on this list. Number 14, Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers, 2021. The most recent MVP award in his trophy case is from the 2021 season, the second half of his back-to-back MVP seasons. He did the usual Rodgers thing as he had a 37-4 touchdown interception ratio while throwing for 4,115 yards. Honestly, there's just not much else to say than what we've already have on this list. Number 13, Tom Brady, New England Patriots, 2017. Before this season, Brady was the runner-up for 2 consecutive seasons and won this award, the final one of his career. Brady finished 385 of 581, a 66.3 completion percentage for 4,577 yards with 32 touchdowns compared to 8 interceptions. His 286.1 passing yards per game led the league as well. You can argue that running back Todd Gurley had a case, but quarterback Carson Wentz had a legitimate case before going down with a torn ACL after 13 games into that season. Number 12, Sean Alexander, Seattle Seahawks, 2005. Sean Alexander had an amazing season to win the 2005 NFL MVP award with the Seattle Seahawks. He had an incredible year as he finished with 370 carries for 1,880 yards with 27 rushing touchdowns. He even had 15 catches for 78 yards with a receiving touchdown. He had a dynamic season. It's honestly difficult to rank him higher though because a lot of the quarterback years just simply are more impressive, but it was outstanding still to say the very least. Number 11, Marshall Faulk, St. Louis Rams, 2000. This is something that's kind of difficult to compare, but Marshall Faulk was very strong as a running back and a receiver. He finished with 253 rushes for 1,359 yards with 18 touchdowns on the ground while also having 81 receptions for 830 yards with 8 receiving touchdowns. He led the league in total touchdowns and rushing touchdowns. It may just be the changing of the era, but he had a better season the year before, and that takes a little bit away from the 2000 MVP in my eyes. Number 10, Cam Newton, Carolina Panthers, 2015. Super Cam was outstanding to win the 2015 NFL MVP, as he was a force while running and passing the football. This was 4 years before Lamar Jackson's MVP campaign. The 2015 season saw him go 296 of 495, 59.8 completion percentage for 3,837 yards with 35 touchdowns and 10 interceptions through the air. Newton was also like a third down running back, as he had 132 rushing attempts for 636 yards and 10 touchdowns on the ground. He ran away with the award as Tom Brady and Carson Palmer, the 2 other men to get votes, were equal to his passing touchdowns, only without factoring in the running numbers. Number 9, Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs, 2022. Patrick Mahomes was able to do well in the most recent NFL MVP award as he finished 435 of 648, a 67.1 completion percentage with 5,250 yards with 41 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. He also ran for 4 touchdowns as well. This right here, this season, is the 4th highest passing yards in NFL history. Number 8, Adrian Peterson, Minnesota Vikings, 2012. It's rare to beat out a quarterback, but 2012 Adrian Peterson did just that as he had 61% of the votes over Peyton Manning. He wound up just 8 yards short of Eric Dickerson's single-season yard total. In 2012, he finished with 348 attempts for 2,097 yards with 12 rushing touchdowns. He also had 40 receptions for 217 yards and a touchdown grab. Number 7, Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens, 2019. In the 2019 season, Lamar Jackson was on a level of his own. He was the unanimous MVP as he went 265 of 401, a 66.1 completion percentage for 3,127 yards with 36 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. That's a pretty strong season, but his running numbers take it to the next level, as he ran 176 times for 1,206 yards and 7 touchdowns. A strong quarterback and Pro Bowl running back in one player is truly incredible. Number 6, Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs, 2018. Mahomes won the NFL MVP in the first year that he started for the Chiefs. He was incredible, as he was 383 of 580, being a 66 completion percentage for 5,097 yards, 50 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. Mahomes was just on a whole nother level in 2018, as his 50 touchdown passes were 11 more than any other quarterback. Number 5, LaDainian Tomlinson, San Diego Chargers, 2006. The highest spot for a non-quarterback on this list is LaDainian Tomlinson. He finished the 2006 season with 348 carries for 1,815 yards and 28 touchdowns. He also had 56 receptions for 508 yards and 3 touchdown receptions to really make things incredible. Tomlinson dominated the vote as he had more total touchdowns than either Drew Brees or Peyton Manning. This was truly an incredible season. Number 4, Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers, 2020. The COVID season saw Aaron Rodgers win the NFL MVP, and it's difficult to really argue against it. He was 372 of 526, a 70.7 completion percentage for 4,288 yards, 48 touchdowns, to 5 interceptions. Drew Brees and Sam Bradford are the only quarterbacks to have a better completion percentage in a season than Rodgers' 2020 campaign. Rodgers had a 9.1 touchdown percentage and a 1.0 interception percentage this year. It is honestly hard to think of a better MVP season. Number 3, Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers, 2011. And yet, the 2011 season saw Aaron Rodgers claim his first MVP award, and yeah, deservingly so. He was 343 of 502, 68.3 completion percentage, for a still career-high 4,643 yards with 45 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. He was absolutely dazzling, as he still holds the NFL record with a 122.5 quarterback rating as well. It is honestly hard to find some years better than this with his ratio and quarterback rating. Number 2, Peyton Manning, Denver Broncos, 2013. Peyton Manning might have the worst MVP in the 21st century, but this one was his best. He finished 450 of 659, a 68.3 completion percentage, with 55 touchdowns and 10 interceptions with the Denver Broncos. This was the new NFL record for both passing yards and passing touchdowns as well. And this year, he got off to a great start as he threw for 7 touchdowns and 462 yards. So, yeah, it makes a lot of sense to be up here. Number 1, Tom Brady, New England Patriots, 2007. Tom Brady dominated the year as he ran away with the 2007 NFL MVP award. He had an absolutely incredible season as he went 398 of 578, 68.9 completion percentage for 4,806 yards with 50 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. He also had a pair of rushing touchdowns. Brady was incredible this season as he went undefeated in the regular season and had the record with 50 touchdown passes. He also had 5 games with at least 4 touchdowns and 7 games finished with at least 300 passing yards. Brady was absolutely incredible. And rightfully so, as the GOAT, should be considered to be this high on this list. But which NFL MVP winner do you think was the best? Let us know in the comment section below. If you liked this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton, and hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.